Hello, what's up guys? It's great to see you back from another video today, so let's get started. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about how deadly wildfires form, alright? So let's get right into it and see and show you and explain how they form. So the way wildfires forms are, guys, is because whenever there's high amounts of all soil over here, right? And whenever there's soil, all of that soil is so dry that there's like not even heavy rain coming down, so it's best to always water your plants and make sure they're safe because since soils are also dry and there's extremely heat sun with no heavy rain falling down, is what happens. There's like there could be some cloudy, but there could maybe potentially, I think mostly, be very sunny. And whenever it's like very sunny, I'll show you what happens. So whenever it's very sunny, right, it starts these the heat radiation start to make them increasingly high as the sun is very in the high temperatures, making the temperatures outside and feel what is the real temperatures outside. Whenever you go on your weather apps and check what's the real temperatures outside, and whenever extreme heat comes, right, the way these extreme amounts of heat by the sun starts making them touch on the houses and can sometimes touch on plants as well, and they can honestly get burnt, obviously. And whenever the sun starts to heat a lot, and look, as we heat and heat. Look, all the sun is just coming all over around here, right? We see all the sun heat radiation, and when the heat radiation comes all over plants, yeah. And then whenever all these heat come, look what we can see. We can see that since all the heat radiation coming, see, and guess what? All the heat radiation's here, and there's no rain, right? See, it's just all clear and no cloudy, which can happen a lot of the times, actually. And whenever they are, these are capable of potentially, I think, causing deadly wildfires. And these are how they form. So whenever they occur, right? I'll show you how they occur. So basically, one thing is whenever the soil is also dry, right? When the soil is dry, look, all the wildfires start to begin forming, and when these massive wildfires come, they can burn off the entire plants, and the plants will potentially and most likely will get killed by the burnt leaves and all the roots on the plants. And then suddenly, whenever the burning debris can start to come to other houses sometimes and start to also create other wildfires with extreme high smoke touching other wildfires. And when they also sometimes touch against each other, I'll show you what happens by that. So look, now since this part of the house has been caught on fire, right? Look, this is like making it into a widespread a little bit, and this is causing a much bigger wildfire, and it's on top of the house, and it's mostly for the right side, actually. It is under that big wildfire burning, and that's a form. And then whenever there's another wildfire here, look, this is another wildfire, and all that fire comes, and sometimes they'll also have potentially burning debris, which is not safe because you can smell all the smoke coming out from those burning debris, as this makes it into extreme high and they collide each other. And then when they collide, they can easily, like, mostly potentially touch to the other side of the house, making it into a high wildfire smokes, and can create even this automatically by the weather system. And then these occur. these can burn down houses, and including these could also easily burn down the plants all over here. And we're talking about whenever wildfires occur, right? Look, they collide on other houses and then start to burn off all trees. It makes this even more into catastrophic wildfires. And when these catastrophic wildfires come, they're all colliding, capable of their unpredictable forces on how they are capable of causing all the damage to houses, plants, which can get killed by that, and by also sometimes by the soil. And basically, whenever we get those, we see a large, big, black smoke, which is all over here, which is a large puff and a huge smoke when they all come out. That's where most of the burning debris come from and that's the exact smell of the burnt smoke coming. They all just burn up extremely high whenever huge fires happen, or deadly wildfires also, mostly when they happen. And when these all can easily burn the entire house down, and sometimes can burn your top story of your house, and can actually burn the entire house, not just roof parts also. And these, like, exceedingly turn into black burning debris smoke, and these are how make them extremely dangerous. And wildfires are one of nature's terrifying natural disasters, because they're easily damaged homes where sometimes people can die by those wildfires. So every time you should always stay safe and be protective for that. All right, I'll show you whenever they issue wildfire, what type of watches do they issue and stuff in the next new videos, whenever we get upload like new videos or anything. All right, so these are how wildfires are formed. And there's like no rain at all for like so many days or more, makes it even more deadly and catastrophic wildfire. All right, so that's all I need to say. Bye.